Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today we are going over my top 5 ships that I think you should go after in the trade-in event. If you're new to this event, this is an event that Wargaming throws up every now and then that allows you to trade in older premium ships or premium ships that you may not necessarily play too much anymore. You can get half of their doubloon value back in the form of a discount on a shiny new premium ship. So it's a good opportunity to get rid of ships that you don't really play anymore and get that nice new one at a bit of a discount. But of course there is a number of ships you can pick up in this event, which is why I get asked quite a bit, hey Sealord, what ships do you think I should get in this event? Well, that's what we're going over in today's video. But right before that though, if you are a fan of the Dune franchise, I highly suggest you check out yesterday's video where I checked out Dune Awakenings. I take you through one of my early in-game adventures, and it was a pretty entertaining video. The viewers that checked it out yesterday seemed to really like it. It's a new style of video for me, so I suggest you guys check that out if you are, again, a fan of the Dune franchise. But with that out of the way, this is Blue.
Hello.
Blue would like you to subscribe to the channel and drop a like so I can afford to give him all the treats and toys he deserves because he is such a good boy. Let's go ahead and get into number 5 without any more shameless plugs, and that is the Tier 8 Premium American Destroyer, the Kid. The Kid is a destroyer that, not just a destroyer that I think is a good premium ship, but it's just downright a good premium ship through and through. This ship has come up a lot here recently because, well, one, I just think she's a downright a good destroyer, and two, she is being pulled from update 14.6 with the new ship rotation system that Wargaming is kicking off in update 14.6. So this, unfortunately, is the last time you'll have the opportunity to get the Kid for probably, according to Wargame, anywhere from a handful of patches to anywhere to half a year's worth of patches, depending upon how long they want to keep Kid out of the premium shop. So you have a chance to get her here before she goes away, and you can get her at a discount too, which is pretty cool. But why is the Kid so good? Well, if you missed any of the recent top 5 videos that included her, she is a Fletcher, which is a tier 9 American destroyer, down tiered to tier 8, with her giving up some of her torpedo power for improved AA defenses. And she also picked up a heal along the way. So you have tier 9 destroyer guns, Fletcher guns at tier 8. That's just terrifying right there. And then they throw a heal in there, but you still get the American smokescreen and you get improved AA. All for just giving up some of that torpedo power, which is pretty cool in my humble opinion. And with that heal, you have a nice cushion when you're playing the Kid to, recover some of your health if an engagement doesn't really go well for you, or just to use that heal to brute force your way through engagements. I mean, with that heal and the gunpowder that you have on the Kid, there's not too many tier 8 destroyers that can go toe-to-toe with a Kid in a gunfight over like a cap and really come out on top. So she's one of the best tier 8 destroyers in my mind, hands down, easily so, which makes her a pretty good ship to have in your carousel for when rank comes around and it's at tier 8 or even tier 8 clan battles and such, or really anything that's like competitive or small format where caps are important. Kid's a really good contender for those modes because, well, she's really good at contesting that cap. Again, you get tier 9 guns, a heal, the American smokescreen, all at tier 8 by giving up a set of torpedo tubes and taking, I believe, the Benson's torps instead of the Fletcher torps in their place. So it's an amazing trade-off in my humble opinion. It's a real still historical ship too. It's the real Kid is what got me into, just being obsessed with naval history and such. I got to spend the night on her back in the day when I was in Boy Scouts, and it's just been a downward slide ever since then. So excellent tier 8 destroyer, one that I'm sad to see that they're taking out of the premium shop for some time, but you can get her here at a bit of a discount. Well, depending upon what ship you're trading in. So that's pretty good in my humble opinion, and one that I would highly recommend you pick up. You won't be sorry for it, especially if you're someone that enjoys gunboats or cap contesting DDs. Excellent ship for that. Anyway, moving on the way down now to number 4, we have another ship that was featured on a list not too long ago, and that's the Tier 5 premium British battleship, the Agincourt. Yeah, the Agincourt, back again too. This is a ship that I included in, I believe, my top 5 must-buy premium ships video not that long ago, and yeah, you can pick her up in the event. And what's really cool is the fact that she's a Tier 5 premium ship, so she's already not that expensive, and if you've got, like, let's say, you know, a Tier 6 or a Tier 7 ship or a higher tier ship that you want to get rid of, you can get like most of the cost of the Agincourt just removed off the top with that ship you're planning on trading in. Now you might be thinking, Sealord, why in the world would I want to get a Tier 5 premium ship, right? It's not high tier, yada yada, so forth and so on. Well, you see, Wargaming is currently working on reworking lower tier games. So there's a good chance that lower tier might become, well, surprisingly popular here in the future. Also, it's just a really fun ship to play. It's probably one of the most ridiculous ships in the game in real life. Initially ordered by Brazil, you know, with 14 guns, a ton of secondaries. Then I believe the Ottomans tried to buy her from the British after the Brazilians bailed out of the project. But then the British just went, lol, no, World War I starting, and well, you're not on our team, so we're taking your ship now. Pretty funny. But anyway, yeah, it's just a ridiculous ship. 14 main battery guns and 7 turrets. It's a beautiful, just monstrosity. And what Wargaming did with it was, well, give it good secondaries at Tier 5. And, well, it's one of the few Tier 5 secondary ships that's actually, like, really, really viable. And doubly so because Tier 5 is, well, a lot closer of a tier in engagement ranges than, like, higher tier games, like, no duh. But the secondaries are accurate enough, and there's more than enough of them, and they have a really nice range, so they're really, really good at doing secondary things. And what I do is I just keep HE loaded. You just overwhelm the enemy ship with the amount of secondary guns. They'll be setting fires left, right, and center, and then when you fire your 14 main battery guns at the enemy ship, they'll also be firing be starting fires left, right, and center too, so you just absolutely melt things with the Agincourt. So fantastic Tier 5 premium ship. Now, the caveat is that it has literally no AA, like not even Joffrey out on the deck with like a Webley firing at the planes, none whatsoever. And considering, you know, Tier 5, you can get to Tier 6 games, which is, you know, there's a lot of CVs and such at Tier 6, so there's a big downside of the ship, but it's just such a fun ship, such a goofy ship, and a ship that is viable at being fun and goofy at Tier 5. So yeah, considering again you can probably get the ship for darn near free if you trade in like a Tier 6 or a Tier 7 or a Tier 8 that you just don't play anymore. What better option, right? So going on down to number 3, we have the Tier 8 premium German battleship, the Brandenburg. So the Brandenburg is an interesting little ship. It's basically a Tirpitz hull that they removed the 15-inch guns, put a bunch of 305mm guns on it, and called it a day. So you get 12 of those 305mm guns on the Brandenburg, which is a lot to have on a Tier 8 battleship. Even though they are 305mm guns, I mean, you get 12 of them, right? Now, on top of getting those guns, you also get 6 more mounts of the 105mm guns. So now you have 20 105mm secondary guns instead of the measly 8 that you get on the Bismarck and the Tirpitz. So you pick up a lot of secondary DP in there, and you still have the 12 150mm guns as well. So the Brandenburg is just a shell-spewing machine, not unlike the Agincourt, but at Tier 8. And you get all that on that Bismarck/Tirpitz hull with torpedoes. So that's just a party now for those of you that like to brawl, which is what the Brandenburg is obviously just fantastic at. And like right now, we have asymmetrics back in the mix. Perfect ship for asymmetrics. Tons of secondary guns to bully the bots with. And the 305mm guns, I mean, they're still 305mm guns, and you get 12 of them. So you can load up AP, chunk the living crap out of whatever it is that shows you broadside. Or you can do what I do, and again, not unlike the Agincourt, use the main battery guns, spamming HE, to overwhelm the enemy's damage con, because your secondaries are going to be pinning them and starting fires, and then your main battery guns come in and start even more fires on on them, or you surprise them with the AP and chunk the living crap out of their broadside. So it's a fantastic ship, fun ship for getting in there and brawl. So be it that, you've got tier 8 brawls coming up, asymmetrics is back, maybe they crank the unbreakable line back down to tier 8, or even tier 8 ranked. This is an amazing ship for tier 8 ranked. It's the ship that we used a couple of streams ago to kind of relieve some of my pain with the ranked teams we were getting, because this is a ship that's very, very good in those competitive small format game modes. So absolutely a ship that's highly worth picking up, in my opinion, especially, again, considering the fact that you can get a pretty nice discount on the doubloon cost of her. Especially if you got like Lucians. Oh my god, this is one of the best ships in the game to slap Lucians on. The sheer volume of secondary fire will get that secondary skull pops like nothing. At least in a mode where you can pop it, like randoms or whatever. And of course the main battery guns too. It's one of the few like battleships that you can potentially get that main battery reload booster going on Lucians as well, because then you have 12 guns, right? So fantastic brawler, great secondary ship. So if you're a fan of the channel, there's a very good chance you would like the Brandenburg. If you haven't picked it up yet, again, great opportunity to trade in a ship you don't play and get a really fun, really good tier 8 battleship. Now, of course, like random battles, yeah, it's not like really in the meta for random battles, but this is the ship that you break out again for brawls, ranked, asymmetrics, whatever mode, small format competitive mode, or small format, hey, let's beat the crap out of bots, or let's go brawl each other in unbreakable line, right? So yeah, great ship, highly recommend it. All right, going on our way down now to number 2. We have the tier 9 Italian cruiser, the Napoli. Now you might be thinking, hold up a second, Sealord. Napoli is a coal ship. I could get Napoli for free. Yes, you, players saying that, probably very well can. However, there are some players that don't have the time to spend on the game, collecting all that coal, and, they're okay with spending a little bit of money to get ships like the Napoli that you could get for coal. And if you're going to pick up a ship, right, get it when you can get a discount. So this is for those players that they don't have the time to, sit down and grind out all that coal, because, well, most of you guys watching, or I don't know, maybe not most of you, but a good chunk of you guys watching, or, in a similar situation to myself where, we play the game every day for maybe an hour or so, definitely enough to get those 3 daily coal containers, right? And if you do that, you can get a coal ship in, I think, like 3 or 4 months, but that's with logging in every day and getting those 3 daily coal containers. Not everyone has the time for that, right? So that's why I put it on this list, because again, can't get it for coal, at least get it for a bit of a discount by trading in a ship that you don't really, want anymore. But anyway, to the ship itself, why is this ship crazy? Well, it's the Napoli. You get SAP secondaries that by default are the most accurate secondary guns in the game, and they can pin more than enough to deal with cruisers and destroyers at tier 9, and then you get the 152mm guns that can pin battleship armor quite easily. And you get the exhaust smoke, so you can smoke up and let your secondaries rip while you stay undetected, with your catapult plane just circling above, doing all the spotting for you. And of course you get the Italian torpedoes, those 13.5 kilometer torps, that surprise the living crap out of, well, a lot of people, because they don't expect the crazy brawling cruiser to be launching torpedoes from that far away. Also too, of course, you can use the secondaries, the torpedoes, as the ace up your sleeve in those drive-by brawling situations. Many uses for these torps. So you get all that on a ship that's really maneuverable and fast. Like Napoli, it is downright scary how fast and maneuverable Napoli is, considering how well armored she is. Like, this thing is ridiculously tough. Like, if you haven't seen this thing in clan battles or ranked, be glad you have it, because it's really tough and really fast, and you get the smoke, so you can pop the smoke, go undetected when you need to, heal up using your heal, or use it to, again, get in there and get damage done with your secondaries while remaining unspotted. But yeah, it's a well-armored ship that can bait a lot of larger caliber AP into her well-armored broadside, well, not broadside, well, her well-armored belt armor, and, just quickly angle to where they will bounce. Like, that's a common thing to do in the Napoli. So Her secondaries are great. You get the exhaust smoke, highly maneuverable, well armored, and the main battery guns are nothing to scoff at either. She gets 254 millimeter guns, which are really large for a cruiser. And the AP on is that spicy Italian AP. So, like, yeah, it can citadel more than a few battleships from medium to close range. So definitely something you want to look out for, let alone, a cruiser coming up against this thing. But yeah, it can run down and murder destroyers with its secondaries. You can bully cruisers and battleships with its main battery guns and torpedoes. It's really tough and really stealthy with that smoke screen in return. So yes, if you are someone that, you do clan battles, ranked, whatever at tier 10, whatever tier 10 competitive thing you need a ship for, look no further than Napoli. This thing is commonly banned or outright banned or highly restricted in clan battles and COTS and such because of how good it is. So if you're looking for something that's fun, Napoli. Looking for something that's competitive, Napoli. It can do pretty much everything. So yes, I would highly recommend you pick up the Napoli, either for coal, which again, firstly, I would recommend getting it for coal because coal is free, cost you nothing but, just playing the game, which most of you guys, again, you're playing the game anyway, right? So play it, get your coal containers, get a Napoli for free. But if you are going to spend money on it, now's a very good time to pick it up, and I would recommend that as a second option. All right, we now come down to our number 1 slot, which is the Karl XIV Johann, the Tier 9 Premium Pan-European battleship, the first one. So the Karl XIV Johann is, it's a ship that was a little weird when it came out. At least it came off as weird to me. It's, what is it? It's the Ruprecht hull with 305 millimeter guns, so, the Gears guns on it, but the secondaries of the Ruprecht, but not quite to that level. They don't have the range, same range as the Ruprecht. I think there's a couple less than the Ruprecht as well, but they're still quite good. And then you slap the Pan-European torpedoes on it and a hydro. So, yeah, it's interesting to say the least. But anyway, so this abomination of a battleship actually is a really good Tier 9 battleship for more than a few reasons. First off, it's really stealthy. The concealment on the Ruprecht on the Karl XIV Johann is 10.6 kilometers. Its secondary range is 10.5 kilometers. So basically, if they're spotting you and they're detecting you, they are already within your secondary range. So once you spot them, which, at that close of a range, most, high-tier cruisers and such are going to get spotted. The only thing you have to worry about are destroyers. But you have Hydra for that anyway, so you won't get surprised by their torpedoes. But anyway, so if they're in your detection range, your secondaries can fire on them. Huge plus for a lot of secondary ships right there. Now, you might be thinking, well, okay, so clearly you take IFHE on this ship. No. Because not unlike, the Brandenburg and the Agincourt, I'm now realizing that, oh yeah, these are 3 ships that I do the same thing with. You can once again overwhelm the enemy's damage con. Because your secondaries, 10.5 kilometers, they have a nice reload time once you build into them, and they have a really nice fire chance with that reload time. Then you throw on, of course, the 305 millimeter main battery guns. You will be setting fires just everywhere on the enemy's ship, especially if it's a battleship. And on top of that, too, you have the Pan-European torpedoes. So you sling them out. They have a 13.5 kilometer range, which, yeah, by the way, this is a battleship that can stealth torp. And not like the Incomparable where she can stealth torp by like half a kilometer. This thing can stealth torp by 3 kilometers, which is absurd. And you get those Pan-European torps, too. They go like, 85 knots. So they get to target way faster than the other torpedoes. They're way easier to get consistent hits on target with than most other torpedoes in the game. So you'll be hitting them with torpedoes, setting floods, and most players will instantly damage common flooding. And then you hit them with the secondaries and the main battery HE, and now they're on fire, and now they're burning down, and you're just laughing about it. And yet again, too, like the Brandenburg, the AP is also really good on the Karl XIV. Sure, yeah, you're not going to be overmatching too much with 305 millimeter guns, but if you got their side and you aren't currently melting them down with your secondaries and main battery HE, load the AP, chunk the living crap out of them, rinse, wash, and repeat. This is an amazing, amazing off-flank kiting battleship. If some poor soul has to push into you with your 13.5 kilometer pan-European torpedoes, which still have a good reload time, I think it's like a little bit over a minute and change, without building into them, it's just misery trying to push into this thing. Like, yeah, eventually you can kill it, but considering, it's got a 10.5 kilometer detect, got the 10.6 kilometer detect, the 10.5 kilometer secondaries, the pan-European torpedoes, yeah, this thing can do a lot of damage before it goes down on the off-flank, so it's great for that. So you need something for like tier 9 ranked, I would say, yeah. Probably not tier 9 clan battles because, the battleship slot, typically you only get one, and you do need it for those, cross-map, blappage shots, right? So maybe not for clan battles, but like tier 9 ranked, tier 9 brawls, asymmetrics, whatever. Yes. Oh yeah, Unbreakable Line, really good, great ship for that. Really fun ship too. No doubt about that in my mind. And again, yet again, another tier 9 premium that you can get a nice healthy discount on with this trade-in event. It's a fun ship. It's a good ship. Yet again, why I am recommending it to pick up for you guys to pick it up in this event. So guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Those are my 5 ships I would recommend you guys pick up in the trade-in event. Let me know what you guys' ships are and all that jazz in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? All that jazz. And hit that subscribe button while you're down there and drop a like too. Helps out on the YouTube side of things. So hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope to catch you guys in the next one.